I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Sounds good. Well, in that sounds really cool. I'm happy to be here with you. Also with us is Mr. Terry. How are you today?
Very well, thanks. It's nice to be here.
Mr. Terry, you're mute.
Thank you. I'm doing great. Maybe I need a little bit more water, but happy to be here this evening and really looking forward to sharing some about Locago. And thank you for having us, Brian.
Well, thanks so much. That sounds good. And last but not least, with us is Miss Anita. Miss Anita, how you doing?
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you guys, and I'm actually very excited as everyone here to talk about Locago. Thank you, Brian.
Okay, well, that sounds perfect. Well, community, before we start, I would like to tell you, do your own research. This is not an investment advice, okay? Having said that, now we can get down to business, okay? So, Mr. Terry, could you please tell me what is Locago and how does it work?
Absolutely. What I might like to try and do here is share some slides while we're talking, but and for some reason, I apologize, but this is not calling up the slides. So interesting. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can click on present and then share screen.
Okay, we'll go with this. This is unfortunately, this is the disjointed version that the slides didn't translate properly or format properly, but it will give an idea anyway of what we're talking about. So Locago is a mini app that operates on Telegram. And it's a fun, engaging tap turn game. I'm going to tell a little bit more about it in a second, but I want to just share a bit about the company, about us. So LCM Technology is the company. It's headquartered in Singapore. As you can see on this slide, its mission is to simplify blockchain, AR, VR, through creating engaging customer experiences. And it really, at its core, is a marketing technology company. So it's a marketing technology platform that services the food and beverage sector and the tourism industry. You'll see a little bit more about that in a few moments, a few slides. And we've got off to a great start so far. We're enjoying some really good growth in Southeast Asia. The first country was Vietnam, but our goal is to service 100,000 businesses and across 10 countries and have 30 million users by the end of 2025. So our business model is very, very simple to look at. It's all the complexities are on the back end, but effectively we take the users and give them this fun, engaging experience where they get benefits from playing games. And I think we'll talk a bit more about some of the enormous benefits that can be gained by playing games.
Sounds good. It's like a play to earn.
Yes, absolutely. It is a play to earn on a mega scale. And Locago really, like I said, is there to create a marketing technology to service SMEs within the food and beverage, as you see in this picture, and the tourism sectors. We do that through 3 different mini games. And again, I apologize for the formatting on this
no worries.
Presentation, but there's a tap to earn game, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a moment or two. There's a Zodiac Pet Masters game, which has really actually taken off tremendously well. And recently, well, actually this week, we're launching voting tourism. and it's got some really exciting features baked into it as well. So that's kind of the 2-minute overview, if you will. Sorry, I went ahead there. But hopefully that gives a taste for what it is. And then we'll talk about some of the features in more detail in a moment.
Okay, well, well, that sounds great. I'm excited to see how it works. And well, that's the next question, okay? Give me a moment. How do you play Locago?
So that's a very good question. I'll be happy to answer this. All right. So yeah, so that was a very good overview from Terry, by the way. So I always get this question, like people will be asking me like how do we play Locago? And the good thing about Locago is it is very easy to access. First, to get started with Locago, right, our users can access through mini app on Telegram. Also, we have our own app. So once they install, users can start participating in various activities that we have within the app. So first, like on the slides, on the first feature we have tap to earn, which users can like tap on the local NFTs we have within the digital map within the app itself. So it is as simple as they just tap on the local NFT, then they will keep earning the in-game tokens. All right. So secondly, we have these Zodiac Pet Masters, which we'll cover a lot more in later slides. That it is as simple as we can just collect and level up different Zodiac pets that we have to earn even more coins, which these features is just launched like 2 months ago. All right. And the third feature is voting tourism, which is going to be launched tomorrow. That in order to join this feature, the users, they get to vote for their favorite tourist destinations, and they can earn rewards based on their pet levels, like depends on the levels within the app itself. So after participating in these different activities, the coins you earn can actually be converted into LCG tokens, which is our own token that can be used within the platform, and they can withdraw to external wallets or the other exchanges that we are listed on. Yep.
Oh well, that sounds really great. I mean, I've been in some playing some tap to earns on Telegram, and they are really good. I want to let you know that this sounds really, really great. But I would like to know how are the coins I earn in tap to earn and voting tourism converted into Locago tokens?
Great. That will be this slide. Yeah, thank you, Terry. So as you can see in the picture, that we have these in-game tokens within the app. So for the users, coins earned through all these activities that I've mentioned just now, they will be converted into LCG tokens from a price pool of there will be a total of 8.6 billion LCG tokens. So the total number of coins earned by users globally will be counted, and each player's portion will be calculated based on the proportion of coins they earn compared to the the total market output as of this year 31st December. So for example, if this player A, the total in-game tokens he has is 0.5% of total price pool, he get to redeem equivalent value of the price pool itself as well. All right. So I also want to highlight this is that our token LCG is already listed on exchanges. There are two actually. One is CoinStore, and another one is MXC. So this provides an opportunity for the token's value and also a platform for our users to buy, to sell, and trade itself. Yeah.
Oh, well, that sounds good. I mean, because there are a lot of traders or investors that they don't like to play games. They just want to buy the token and trade with it. That sounds really great, Mr. Jim. Well, if you don't mind, I would like to jump to the next question. Can you explain the different ways to earn on Locago?
Sorry about that.
Okay, well, no worries.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, no worries.
So back to what that Terry and Jim explained. Thank you for that as well. But I think the main message that we want to tell to the users here that the game is free. Everyone can play this game. If you want to play for free, or also there'll be an in-game app purchases. But more importantly, it's free. Now, what did Jim said earlier? There's a few ways to earn this game. The more important thing about this game is you need to accumulate as much coin as possible, because these coins are the ones that you can exchange it with an LCG token. So how do I explain is that some people tend to get confused with in-game coins and tokens. So if you can see on the first one, where you can see all the numbers of the coins, those are the in-game coins that the users need to focus. So when it comes to the first one, is through the tap to earn game, where you can tap wherever you are in the map. And then the second one, where I will explain more in detail, where you have a virtual pet that you can have, and you can level them up and take care of them actually. And these zodiacs are the one that's going to help you to bring more of these coins to accumulate, so you can get more tokens from the prize pool. And the third one, for the voting tourism, the zodiacs are also going to help you. And the next one, Terry, can you go to the next slide? There's also an additional feature in any games where they have a daily task. And I think to those of you who have played like Hamster Combat or any other similar games, every game will always have a daily task. So one of the ways that we allow people to do is to go through the task daily to get more coins. And also the feature here that you can earn more is through your referrals, right? So the more friends you invite, or your friends and family members, if I were to refer to you, Brian, so, like both of us will get 5,000 additional coins. So it's not just like a one way, it's two of us will get those coins. So the more people you invite through your friends and family, the faster and the more coins you could accumulate. So there's literally 5 ways to accumulate them, and each of them are unique.
Okay, well, you're saying, for example, the influencers have a really good that they have a really good community. They can earn from their invites, right?
Correct. So everyone will have their own unique code, as you can see on the right side. That you can see my name there and the code below it.
It's so like a referral code, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, sorry, continue.
No, what I'm trying to say is that some people can just download the game separately, and if they do not want to have referral, but it's better if, let's say, for the influencer or KOL or you to use the code, because then that's when, if you were to introduce to people, then you can get those extra coins if they level up.
So. Okay, well, that sounds really good. I mean, as I said before, for influencers is a really good way to earn faster. And to earn faster, that's another question that I have here. Give me a moment. What are the main strategies to maximize earnings across the platform?
Okay, I think everyone will have their own strategy on this. Like, when it comes to play any games, like you and I would have a different strategy on how to reach the goal, right? So I think the most important strategy here is consistency. It doesn't matter. I know some of you could be busy, working. Some of us are very free. So it depends. For this game, we want to make sure that it doesn't consume too much time for you. Like for me, what I'll do, maybe I'll play the game in the morning. So maybe for you, Brian, you can play it maybe in between of your free times or at night before you go to bed. But it takes you at about maybe half an hour or 15 minutes sometimes to play throughout the whole game. But even if you just want to play the tap to earn game, those just took like, I think, about 3 to 5 minutes, right? It's just easy. It's not time consuming. But if you were to play more like the Zodiac and the voting, that might take a little bit of time because you will need to tap more and it'll take more time. But overall, it doesn't consume much time. Now, another way what we can the tips that I would give to the user is to level up the zodiac. Maybe I'll explain more about the zodiac later because it's quite long. But mainly what I'm trying to say is that this zodiac is so important because they are the one that actually will give you all the coins that you wanted, and is also important for the tourism.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that sounds amazing. I've been in tap to earns for a long time, and I think that this is a feature. I mean, that you're saying is a feature I haven't seen or heard of in other tap to earns, and I'm very curious about this, and I would like to say to the other people, please hear everything right, do your own research, because but for me this sounds really really good because it's a tap to earn and sounds really easy. Okay, I have another question here. What's the long-term vision for Locago, and how do you plan to grow the platform?
I'll take that question. So that's great. And Brian, I love that you encourage people to do their own research. We always strongly encourage that. I've been in this sector for a very long time. Well, right since the beginning of the Bitcoin days. So it's critical. And that is one of the things that I love about where we are at this inflection point in the whole sector, is where we are starting to tie projects into real world businesses. Probably most people, if not everyone on this call, will have heard of real world assets, but real world businesses is a concept that I've been talking about for a while, written an article about it, and I think we're going to see more activity. So as I mentioned early in the conversation, we're really a marketing technology platform to service SMEs within the food and beverage and tourism sectors. And so we want to bring sophisticated technology to those businesses so they can compete with the multinational giants out there, you know, all the brand names that you might know and recognize, because they have the resources, they have the technology to be able to offer sophisticated marketing services that it enables them to do more business on a per restaurant basis than the independents. The difference is dramatic in some countries. And so by having a technology that is accessible, inexpensive for the businesses to utilize, it's great. We do that so unlike Web 2 platforms, some Web 2 platforms where they use the user base as the product that they're selling to earn revenue, and all the revenue goes to the company. In this model, the Web3 benefits flow directly to users. And in some cases, like Jim talked about earlier, the giant prize pool, and watch at I have some optimism about where it's going to end up at the end of December, but keep an eye on it. I think it's going to be it's already a huge prize pool, and I think it's going to be massive. But there's other benefits. So when we start servicing food and beverage businesses, Anita just mentioned about the Zodiac Pet Masters. So the Zodiacs, they are located inside restaurants. So if you look at our digital map now globally, they're already offering free marketing benefits to restaurants. Over time, those will end up being a part of a paid service. But initially, we're in what we think of as the initial phase, where we're really trying to attract a massive user base. And then we will start onboarding restaurants, initially free, and then slowly converting them to paid businesses. And those restaurants then will be able to communicate through the app, but offering discounts and benefits directly to our user base. And so by having the app, you could go to your favorite restaurant that you're going to go to anyway, and you'll know that I can get 20% off or a free dessert with a meal or whatever their promotion is. And it's quite a sophisticated platform. And that's going to be tied into KOLs, influencers. I think Anita might mention something about that because that's in her domain. So I'll leave that to her. But a lot of exciting things planned, but we're hoping to be the vehicle of choice, certainly throughout Asia and then eventually globally for these businesses to compete with the giants out there.
Well, that sounds really great. I mean, having a discount in a restaurant, I think that everyone wants that. For me, yeah, I want maybe 10, 20, or 50% of discount if I go to a restaurant. Okay.
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And, you know, the opportunities associated with this are, we have a lot of things coming. We generally don't like talking about the things that are coming up. We like talking about the amazing things we already have. But I will give you a little sneak peek. We're also launching a Locago blockchain, where it's a proprietary blockchain, and there's many reasons for that tie into the long-term strategy. So right now, these businesses that can track into visits from our community based on giving away, say, the Zodiacs. The users of the app will go in, scan a QR code and get a free Zodiac. And it's amazing once you start playing the game. And you said you're a tap turn user. People go nuts. Like, if you remember, and if anyone listening remembers Pokemon Go, which is still active, but in its heyday, people were going crazy to collect these things. We're already experiencing some of that, especially in slightly more mature markets. We're still very, new to the market, but we've got a lot of users in Vietnam, and it's wild to see how enthusiastic people are about collecting these and leveling up. And to start leveling up, once you get to the higher levels, there's a lot to it. So eventually, as our community starts to get used to scanning to collect these inside establishments, the establishment will get used to dealing with our community coming in, waving their phone and to scan, and we will be eventually making LCG token as part of a payment platform that we've also got that will then allow you to just use your tokens to not only get a discount for lunch, but to pay for it. And so it really starts to become intertwined and very interesting. And it's an ambitious, big project that is going amazingly well. So I encourage everyone, do your own research, but check it out. So
yeah, well, here's I'm hearing that it's growing very fast.
Yes, it is. It is. And so if you compare it to sort of a normal project, it's growing very, very fast. But if you look at what our ambition is and our desire and needs, we want 30 million people before, within the next year, 30 million users or players. And that's a lot of people. There's, you can count the number of projects out there that have 10 million, let alone 30 million. And that's across 10 countries. And so we've got big ambitions, but, well, it is going very, very well, and especially in Vietnam, and now we're really going aggressively in several other Southeast Asian countries.
Yeah, well, the goal is being in every country around the world, right?
Very long term, like, because there's a real world business. So this is not just digital, right? This brings online activities to offline real world activities like eating and interacting with businesses. And then we need to engage, and we have some pretty sophisticated ways of engaging with the businesses, interesting plans there. And that's been tested and proven and has gone really well. To give you a sense of actually how much passion there is behind this community, in Vietnam, people were congregating to meet up to discuss our Web 2 version. And then we migrated to Web 3, and it launched July 1st. And that's really what's going to take us off to the moon, as it were. And it became so popular that our community wanted to open up franchised Locago coffee shops. And there's 25 of them operating across Vietnam right now. And so they use it as a meeting place, and it's wild. And so we're hoping to replicate some of that enthusiasm across the various countries. And honestly, like, when people play the game and for free, and you start to see that there's no catch to it, it really is addictive. I'm stealing the floor, so I better stop. I'm excited about this, and so I'm going to stop talking and let you go move to another question.
Well, you heard it, guys. I hope you're enjoying these amazing updates that Locago has for you. I want to ask you something that caught my attention. Is what is boating tourism, and how do I participate?
Sure. Okay. Let me just, oops. So voting tourism.
Yeah, because sorry.
I was just asking Jim if he wants to pick this one up, or if
yeah, if you could please explain in detail this. Yeah, because I want to have this clear for the community, because you were saying a lot of things, but I want to let them know some things very clear.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So voting tourism is essentially within each country around the world. Once you log into the Locago mini app, then there's an option to vote on tourism destinations. And so, like this first image on the left shows, a screen comes up, and you can learn about it through event details. But the tourism attractions allow you to look at all the individual locations that you can vote on around the world. But the interesting thing is, and it's a little bit difficult to see here, but you can see there's a zodiac creature when you go into on the middle image. There's a zodiac creature on the right-hand side that if, for example, you voted on Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, the bottom image, then you would get a dog. So you would get it, and then you not only are awarded the dog for voting on that particular destination that day, but you have 3 minutes. And depending on what level you are at in the Zodiac Pet Masters, so there's 5 levels. So level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, denoted in stars. and I think there will be some images that you might be able to see the different levels. But for 1 star, you earn 5 coins per tap. Interestingly, you can use 2 fingers, and that's like tapping twice, 5 fingers and tapping 5 times. So you see people tapping on their phone frantically. You can filter by region up towards the top, so Asia, Africa, North America, and so on. Or you can filter by the zodiac. So if you knew that you wanted to collect a mouse, you could click on the mouse and it would bring every destination up, and then you just vote. And then within those, and on the right-hand side, you can see the activity. That's a screenshot from active play, where that person was collecting 15 points a tap. And so it's a great way to get a zodiac, a great way to increase the number of coins that you have, and it gets our community used to participating in events like this. It gives them, there's also competitions tied to it, which we can talk about in a little bit, but that will get people used to interacting with destinations. And then they can, they'll be rewarded by real destinations with, depending on what they are. So that, like a restaurant might want you to write a review about it, and then it would give you a reward for doing so. And that can all be done through the platform. And this has been, so we've done beta testing, and people love it, and they're quite competitive with it. So it's very interesting. Did that explain it? Do you think that gave you an overview, not having really seen it before, Brian?
Yeah, well, that completely explained, and also you explained what is Zodiac Pet Masters, and I think that depending of the pet masters you have, you will grow up faster.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes. So you can see here on the right-hand slide, there's, if you had a 1 star, you get 5 per tap. If you had 5 stars, you get 25 per tap. This particular user had 3 stars and getting 15 per tap. And I can see that it's our friendly Anita here. So she, in this test, she was collecting 15 per tap. So that's, yeah, it's great. So as you rank up, you collect more. There is an option to even use LCG tokens. You could use, 20 LCG tokens. And for the day of tapping and voting, you can be a level 5. But then you'd have to do that every day. Whereas if you earn it through the Zodiac Pet Masters, then there's no charge.
Well, you heard it, guys. I think that this information is really incredible for those who want to play and earn with Locago. So I would like to ask you, and I would like to say that we have 1.4K views right now. This is unbelievable. This is so great. And having said that, I want to ask you, can free players still win big prizes, or are in-app purchases necessary to progress?
Anita?
Okay, I think I'll answer that. For the voting game, actually, that one you saw was like a stage process, because it's supposed to be launched like in this coming week, supposedly tomorrow. So the fun part about this is that I and Terry, when we were testing this game, we get very competitive about it. So, you know, like what Terry said, I would literally see him doing like this on his phone. This is how some people play, some people play like this. I mean, it depends on how fast you get. But the good part of this game that it's competitive. Now, before I want to talk about if users can play for free, I want to talk about the Zodiac Pet Masters in detail, because I think some people might get a bit confused about how does this the Zodiac Pack work for the voting, but more importantly, for users, you can play this game for free. Now, I want to talk about the Zodiac Pet Masters first. As if any of you have heard about Pokemon Go or Digimon, Brian, have you heard about Pokemon Go? Have you played those games?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Pokemon, but yeah, I would say that I played it.
We might have watched, I mean, of course, but I think a lot of us who grew up in this generation, everyone would know what is Pokemon, but not everyone plays that game. But to those of you who know about Pokemon Go, it's technically the same feature where you collect those Pokemons, but what we do is instead of Pokemon, we got Zodiacs. So we have the 12 animals. So what we will do with these animals, take them as your own virtual pet. Like you literally will have them and you have to take care of them. And you have to level up these Zodiacs because, like I said earlier, these Zodiacs are going to be the vital point for throughout the game, as it's going to give you a lot of in-game coins, and it's also the crucial part of the game that helps you for your voting, because the more higher the Zodiacs, the more voting points you can get. Terry, can you go to the next slide? Okay, so but how do you play this game? As you can see on the left side on the map, for first timers, maybe you might get a bit confusing because you see a lot of spots, right? You can see a bit of those animals. You see these blue round circles. So what are they? So if you see the blue one, those are the local NFT. So basically the FNB in your location. Now, when you play the first structure of tap to earn, where it's basically anytime, anywhere, you can just tap it. It's like a hamster combat where you have like an energy level. So you tap it, and then once it's done, you can wait for like another half an hour or 40 minutes to retrieve that. Okay, so that's free. Now, when you see the animal, the Zodiacs, right? So if you notice, I'm at Wisma UOA. So that was the location I was at currently. So there's two choices for you to do. Either if you want to collect a nearest Zodiac to you, or if you want to collect your desired Zodiac. Sorry about the presentation because of,
No worries. I'm seeing, and I'm hoping everyone is seeing very well.
Yes. I mean, for the new viewers who are here, so we just want to apologize for the shrinkage of the presentation. But more importantly, the problem when it comes to Pokemon Go, there was a bit of an issue where the destination-wise, where you need to be there and capture this Pokemon, where it could be dangerous for some people. That's a lot of cases that I heard, like in Malaysia, where some people would go to people's house to capture the Pokemons, right? Because it's in those locations. So how we Locago is trying to help everyone is that we're trying to make it safe, where you can be at your home or you can be anywhere in your office as well. You can still capture the Zodiac, but it's just that if you're further away from the destination, as you can see on the right side, when you tap on the Zodiacs, you only get one tap to catch them. But if you are nearer to the location, then the points get higher for it, and it's easier for you to capture the Zodiacs.
That's a very good point that I want to add, because we don't want, or you don't want, that everyone goes there or to a dangerous zone or something like that. But I think that this is a good benefit for health, because you're walking.
Correct.
Right? Walking is a very good benefit for health.
Yes. So it's a win-win situation for, maybe the introverts would prefer to sit at home and play this game, or for the extrovert, they maybe like to go out and capture the Zodiacs. Can you go to the next slide, Terry? So when it comes to the Zodiac, remember I was mentioning if you want to capture the nearest Zodiac or the desired Zodiac. Now, if I am a strategic player, if you notice each of the Zodiacs, each of them gives a separate amount of coins. Like the buffalo gives about 1,005 and the mouse gives 1,007. Now, Brian, which one would you choose among the Zodiacs? Would you choose the buffalo or would you choose the mouse?
I will choose the mouse, of course.
And why is that?
I will choose the mouse because it has more power of mining, I will say.
Correct. So some of you, depends on the people. Maybe they like to collect all the Zodiacs because it's cool to have all the Zodiacs, as you still can get the coins. But there are some people who are strategic where they only collect the highest amount of points from the Zodiac. So maybe I only collect like a mouse, a monkey, and a dragon, because those are the powerful Zodiacs that gives me the more coins. And these are all at level 1. And next slide, Terry. Okay, so before I go to this, basically these zodiacs, when you capture them, for the users who are free, to level up those zodiacs, you may need like a pass, like a certificate. But for users who just want to play the game for free, I'm not interested in any purchase. There's a few ways for them to still participate in the tourism and all the games. And how to do so is that the first rule of this game is you need to accumulate the coins. Where remember I said that you have to tap to collect those coins. So take it like those are your first money, right? You have to collect those coins, because if you want to capture those zodiacs, you need to have like a certain amount of coins to capture those zodiac. We're trying to make it a little bit difficult, so it's not easy just to capture. Like in Pokemon Go, you have to have a Pokeball first, then only you can capture the Pokemon. But for us, you need to have a certain amount of coins. So a sample, to capture a pig, you will need at least 10,000 coins. But if you want to capture a dragon, you need to have about 12,000 coins to capture them, because it gives you more coins in value. Now, if you do not have those coins, that's why I said you can participate maybe in an airdrop program, or you can just take your time anytime when you're free to collect those coins. And then with those coins, you can capture the zodiacs. Now, when you capture any of those zodiacs, you will have a level 1 zodiac that gives you, okay, if you have one dragon, it gives you 1,700 coins every single day. So instead of, tap 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, which gives you only like maybe 300 a day, these zodiacs are the one that's going to help you to, just sit and chill and just...
to grow up faster, something like
more.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but this is for free users, which means what I'm saying, that the users can still enjoy the game and not worried about having to purchase anything, but still able to participate in everything to win prizes, right? So we do not want to hold and choke them and say, no, this is only for paid players, So we want to make sure everyone can have a taste of fun. Now, to level up, so if they do not have these certificates, which I'm going to explain later, these certificates, so if you do not have this IDA certificate, you cannot level up your zodiac. To level up the zodiac, so for maybe Brian and I, so maybe I'm not a serious player, but if you are a serious player and if you really want to level up, then you might either want to purchase a $25 standard package for a year, basic, but you can level up your zodiac to only level 3. But if you want to purchase the 55 one, then you can level up to level 5. Now this is where,
like this is something like being like a VIP player, right?
Something like that. So
okay.
like I said, we do not want to force people. The game is free. The motive of this game is to make sure everyone enjoys the game. You can still participate. But what I noticed is that when you play with certain amount of people, let's say I'm at level 20, Brian, you just started, and we are close friends. So you see me playing this game and you want to reach out to me, and you'll be like, how am I going to reach a level 20 in such a short time, right? So this is where you will be strategizing to purchase either one of the certificate. Let's say you get the professional one. It's on your own choice that you want to do that. And then you do your own strategy and collect as much of the zodiacs and collect more points. The reason why I say this is that the more you level up your zodiacs, the more coins you have. Like it will give you a great amount of coins as you level up. But of course, to level up is not as easy. So I will explain more to that.
You have to dedicate you have to dedicate much time to grow your zodiacs.
Mm-hmm. But it's not that complicated. We're trying to make it easy for everyone as well. Like it's not too much. Like, if you play a certain amount of game to level up, you must have certain requirements, blah, blah, da, 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 But we're just trying to make sure that it's a bit very straightforward. So it's easy for the users to level up.
Okay, well, you heard it, guys. Please, thank you so much for your comments. Please go to their social media, like, retweet, comment, everything. We have 2,000 views. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being here, for hearing us, for hearing the Locago team. I don't know what to say, because it's amazing to have you here. So I would like to say, or I would like to ask you, sorry, can you tell us more about the price structure for daily, weekly, and monthly rewards, please?
Yes, please. So I will take this question. So there was a very comprehensive overview from Terry and Anita about our Zodiac Plan Masters and voting tourism. So of course, the players tend to care more about like the prizes they'll be getting, right? So the price structure in Locago is very extensive and rewarding. So as you can see, I think it should be the next slide. Yeah, there's supposed to be a slide
Go
about
to
the
the
reward.
next slide, Terry. Next.
I think it's missing.
Yeah, I
There
think
it-
this is one. All right, cool. All right, so as you can see at the first picture on the right, actually these are all I mean, you can see all these rewards within our app and also the website itself. But I wish to highlight more on this podcast again. So for the daily prizes we have here, the top player each day, they get to win 100 LCG tokens, while lower ranked players win prizes ranging from 600 to 20 LCG tokens. So for weekly prizes that we'll be giving away to our players, so is that the top players each week will win an iPhone 16 Pro Max with additional prizes such as 200 USDT, 150, and LCG tokens for other high-ranking participants. So not only that, players rank from 101st to 1,000 also receive 50 LCG tokens. So come on, guys, people, Locago is like giving free money, all right? So please come here and join us. And lastly, we have our monthly prizes. The top player of the month, they get to win 1 Ethereum. Yes, you heard it right. It's 1 Ethereum. And the other top players can win BNB or LCG tokens. So the money prizes extend to the top 1,000 players, ensuring we get to have more participants joining us, not only Vietnam, but we also look forward to have the other regions players joining us to get to redeem the extensive prize pool. Yeah.
Well, that sounds really good. It's really good to hear that, because I think that most of people is interested in this. So give me a second. Okay. Well, how does the leaderboard system work, and how often is it updated?
It's a perfect time to answer that question because, when Jim talked about in a month you could win an Ethereum, and depending on your view on where ETH is going, I think that's already quite valuable, but I'm quite optimistic about where Ethereum's going in the future. And on a weekly basis, it's really important because there's an iPhone Max that can be won. And you can see in the left-hand image in this screen, that's an example of one of the leaderboards. And there are many different types of leaderboards that you can see in the dashboard of the app. And it just ranks people, and it creates, you can compete with other people, it creates that little bit of, brings out that competitor in many of us, and it's exciting. So people end up, I think, playing extra rounds or playing a little bit longer than normal. And you can see here for the Zodiac Hunters here, and I did mention that the Vietnam is currently the most mature market, and so these top 4 people here are Vietnamese, but they have this number of Zodiacs. And Anita was talking about the Zodiacs, but to give you an idea, if you have 5 level 1s and you level up to a level 2, those 5 level 1s become 1 level 2. And then 5 level 2s become 1 level 3, and so on. And so if you had a level 4 zodiac, you have 125 level 1s, 625 for level 5. So it's quite, it gets quite material. And the points, as in the in-game coins, start compounding like crazy. And so you want to collect as many as you can, and you want to strategically rank up, level up within each zodiac to rank up on the leaderboard so that you're eligible for some of those prizes. But there's daily prizes, weekly prizes, and monthly prizes, as Jim mentioned. And then there's the enormously giant prize pool at the end of December. So you're always in the game, right? Like if you're playing to win something, there's another chance tomorrow and another chance this week, next week, and so on. And so it's people use these screens a lot to see how it's going. And when we were talking about the voting tourism, you can see here in this example, this is where these are the nations that got the most clicks, the most taps, and in this. And so even by country, they're ranked. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it sounds really. Sorry, Anita, go for it.
I am so sorry, but can I just add one very important point about the zodiacs, if that's okay?
Of course, go ahead.
So can you just go back maybe about 2 slides or something? The previous one. Okay, so remember Terry was saying that to level up the zodiacs, you must have the training certificates. To the people who wants to purchase someday, I just showed the graphics so it's easier for people to understand. These zodiacs, as you notice on the left side, it's a level 1 dragon, and you will need 5 of level 1 to go to level 2. And notice how the amount of coins that you collected, it's instead of 1,007 on level 2, you get about 10,000. And then you will need about 5 of level 2 dragons to level up to level 3. And if you notice on the right side, the coins tremendously increases to 62,000. I believe on the level 4, you might get about 300,000. And if you're at level 5, you can accumulate almost 2 million coins per day. So
2.2 million for a dragon.
Wow, that's amazing.
So the more, like I said, but to reach at level 4, or you may need more of level 1. So that's why it's not easy. But if you were to target to focus on certain zodiac that you want to level up, it's great for you, because now every day you just want to get these coins that you can accumulate, and you can just relax. And the more coins you have, the more prize pool you can get at the end of this December of 2024. That's the main goal that everyone needs to know. But one last thing that's very, very important, these pets are like your pets. So can you go to the next slide? I know it's easy to just play the game, but we're trying to make sure that people take care of their pets. You cannot just abandon them. So when you have the zodiacs, you need to feed them. Now, if you don't feed them for a certain amount of days, it's fine. Like we can still hold our hunger, but if we go on for 5 days, then we'll die. So technically the same for the pets. If you do not feed your pets for 5 days, they'll GG, they'll die.
Yeah, they are going to die or something.
They'll perish.
Yeah, they'll perish. In Asian we call it GG.
And need to explain that if you don't feed for 1 day, what happens to the energy and your reward?
It's going to be lower, I guess.
So if you feed it every day, then good, you get the full amount of coins. Like the dragon gives you about 1,007 per coins, but if you miss for 1 day, then the energy level drop to 80%. Now, if it's 80% for the energy and if you never feed it, the coins drop as well. Maybe like you get only 1,500, and if you didn't feed for those days, then it reduce, right? But the good news is, for people who don't have the certificates, if you notice on the left one, when you capture any of the zodiacs, automatically you get approximately about 40 cakes. So if you do not have the certificates, you have to feed like maybe a level 1 is 2, and then level 2 you have to feed 10 cakes. But if you have the certificates of, let's say if I have the professional one, then it cuts by 50%. So I don't have to feed a lot of it. So I just have to feed half of the cakes to make the zodiac survive.
Well,
And
that
those
sounds
are the
really
important.
interesting. I think that you said a very good point of reading the zodiacs, and well, you heard it, guys.
Yeah, so those are the important points.
Yeah, that was very important. Well, you heard, guys. Please go to their social media, support them, comment, like, reply, everything that you have to do, and of course, keep typing your support here in Binance and Twitter. Thank you so much for being here. Well, I would like to. I know that I think that you mentioned this before, but I want to have it clear for the new users that are going to come. How can users invite their friends and in rewards through referrals?
Yep. So I will take this question. So, like Anita has mentioned earlier, that the users, they get to invite friends by sharing, like unique referral link. So, um, as you can see in the picture, that let me see if it is. I think it should be the next slide, Terry.
The next slide,
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah. So within the app itself, the users, they have their own unique referral link that they can actually share to their friends if they find it good, they find it rewarding. That also they get to benefit by doing this. Is that each time a friend joins Locago using your link, and after they participate in the game, you get to earn the coins as well. All right. So like Anita has mentioned before, that for every referred user, you get to earn up to 5,000 coins in-game coins. Additionally, as your referrals continue playing and upgrading their pets, or they like continuing catching more Zodiac, you'll keep earning a portion of their rewards. So that is very additive in a way that people will tend to collect more in-game coins in order to stand a higher chance when it comes to 31st December, when they are about to launch the prize pool itself. So this also creates a very steady source of additional income with minimal effort by just participating in our very simple games, and it is fun, a very fun experience as well. Yeah.
Well, that sounds really good. I have a question, but if I invite a friend, I will have that reward one time, or it going to be if they are tapping, I will keep earning their rewards from him or her.
I'm not sure that was clear, Brian. So are you asking if you referred me and then I referred Jim, would you get something?
Yeah,
or?
something like that. Or if they are tapping, continue tapping the screen or playing the game.
So, well, you can refer as many people as you want, and every time you refer someone, you're getting these rewards. But then, in addition, if you referred me and I reached a level 10 in the game, then you get a bonus of some coins. And so, but you if I stop playing, you're not penalized. But there is that incentive at level 10.
Okay. I'm very clear now. So we have seen many tap turns or airdrops in the crypto world because, well, we had a lot. I wouldn't say a lot of mess, but we had a few mess with some airdrops. I won't mention, but I think that you know them. But I would like to say that one of them was very good. And I will say the example of dogs was a very good airdrop for me. And I would like to know what makes Locago different from other earning platforms or games out there, because there are many games in Telegram or in another platforms outside of Telegram.
Yeah, that's another interesting question, interesting topic. And I touched on some of that earlier in that we really take the online experience offline. We encourage online activity, and we're part of the Web3 online community, absolutely. However, we encourage offline activity through real world businesses, through real world experiences. So there's even a within the app a Loca Meet, and you can communicate with other members of the community, and you can plan to meet at a restaurant or so on. And so it goes beyond just tapping and earning. And the value both in the tokens and the coins that we're talking about, there's real value given to the users. There's the exclusive benefits from the businesses that will come and be exclusive benefits for the user base. But then the benefits to the real world businesses are immense. And so this is a very, very powerful multi-million-dollar platform that these businesses would not have the human resources or the capital or the marketing expertise to deploy and remain competitive. It gives them those tools. So it is a sustainable, real business, unlike many projects that all of us are probably familiar with, where it's just launch a coin, give a lot of hype and pump. That's not what this is about. You're not going to get 1000x with the LCG token. That's not why you buy it.
Everything is expected from airdrops or something.
Yeah, this is a real world business that where the coin, we anticipate growth, demand. We have lots of utility planned, and then it will hopefully see a steady rise. So I think the differences are really the fact that we can point to tangible, real benefits that exist today for both the community, the user base, and the businesses that will sustain it long term.
Well, I think that was very important. Sorry, Anita, go for it. Go ahead.
I think more importantly for Gen Z and millennial, yes, it's important to connect with businesses that brings real value. But I think most people, what we want as a company, especially for Gen Z and millennial, what we see, there's a lot of businesses and games that want people to go from offline to online, right? Like everything now is through the screen. What do they call it again? The virtual games and stuff. So we all connect through virtually. But with that, what I noticed myself with the Gen Z people, there's a bit of lack of human touch or connection, we can say, right? So, when I was young, my parents would kick my ass for staying out for so long, but these days kids just wanting to stay home, and our parents would ask,
yeah, things have been changed for all the time in the time.
Yes. So we thought we want this game to have that human connection. Remember, like I said, when we play it, just with families or with our friends or whatever it is, we get competitive, we communicate. We could even play with our parents. Our parents, maybe they don't know the game, but sometimes when they learn and you communicate with them, they appreciate that connection, right? So we want people to have more connection outside. So maybe they can hang out in an F&B place instead of just playing with their phones or stuff. They can play this game and connect, and more importantly, to have that engagement in real life than just have everything online. So
yeah, that's a very good combination, having the real world and the virtual world. That's very good. Well, I'm seeing that we are 3K views.
Awesome.
We have a very good people right here. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting, for all your love. Please go to the social media of the team Locago, support them, like, retweet, comment your doubts or everything that you want to do. And I would like to ask you something for those who are entering in this EMA, this presentation. How do I enjoy Locago?
How to join? That's very easy.
Yeah, for those who are entering
You?
right now.
Okay. One of the ways you can go to Apple Store, an App Store, or Google Android. All you have to do is just type Locago and you can download it. But if let's say if your friend already has it, if you yourself have the app and if you have your own referral, I would suggest you to share your code or link for them to just click the link and attach to the game, because it's a win-win situation where you can automatically get about 5,000 coins. So now if I were to play the game, rather than starting with zero, if I want to level up to level 1, you will need approximately like I think 1,000. So rather than tapping 1 to 1,000, now if I were to refer to Brian, let's say Porter was get 5,000 and I can already be at level 1. To go to level 2, I need approximately, if I'm not wrong, is 11,000 coins. Now if I just need to refer another person or 2 more person, then you just automatically level up fast, right? So those two are one of the ways. And another way is to just go through Telegram and type Locago. You will see a Locago bot and you can just click it. Terry, I'm so sorry. Can you show the slides of how do you find it on Telegram so it's easy? You just don't want to confuse people.
Okay, great.
The last one.
There we go.
Okay, so if you see on the right side, when you search Locago, you can see Locago app bot. So when you click on that, you will see the right side images and you just click the play button on the left and you're good to go. You can start your game. It's that easy.
Well, yeah, it sounds easy because there are a lot of tap turns or airdrops that you can find in Telegram this way. But yeah, I would like to say it's easy. So you heard it, guys. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting, for giving your comments. And I would like to ask you the final question. Are there any upcoming features or events we should look forward to?
Absolutely. I will take this question. So as you can see in the slides that these are some of the pictures of the past events we have done. So in this year, we have accomplished a lot of things, and we attended a lot of events, and we did a lot of offline events with our members and also the partners that we are working with. So one of it is CoinFest in Bali. I'm not sure if Brian, you have visited the event before, but it was very impressive in a way that we feel the energy is there. All right, and also we had one in Malaysia Blockchain Week, and also we did a lot of events in Vietnam itself, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh. So there'll be many upcoming events and new features coming along the way, especially coming to last quarter of this year. So in the meantime, we are actually working closely with some well-known influencers and KOLs. Yeah, especially Anita is like has contacted some of them, but we'll disclose when the time is right. Right. So I would like to encourage the members and the audience, like to join our Telegram or our social media sites, so we can, take this opportunity to stay tuned to our latest updates that we have, and also, like I said, we have many upcoming events and features that will be announced. So be sure to stay tuned within our channel, and also, like Locago is relatively new, so we are continually evolving. So upcoming highlights include collaborations with influencers and KOLs that I mentioned. This will definitely enhance user experience and we get more exposures from them. And actually, the most anticipated event I want to highlight again is the end of year prize pool that we have mentioned this again and again, that we want people to really keep an eye on this, because the first, it is the amount is very insane. and where users can just compete for massive rewards, including Ethereum, iPhones, and LCG tokens. So people really start to get attention on it, and I'm sure that if you are like in our Telegram group, you'll be sure to stay tuned for our announcement regarding these events, which will be shared through across all our social media channels.
Well, that was a very good point of view. I would like to say to the community, stay tuned for the new upcoming updates, because I think that Locago has a really good project. For me, has a really good project. But yeah, that's it. You just need to stay tuned for their upcoming updates, to their social media. And I would like to say thank you so much for being here in this time, for sharing with us. Please support their social media. Go to their Twitter, Instagram, or anything, everything that you want to do. Please comment, reply, like, everything. Okay. Thank you so much for your support here in Binance and Twitter. Well, it's ads right now. And for finishing this first section, I would like to say that there were a lot of questions from the community. I think that there were a lot, like 3,000 of questions, but
Wow.
we choose two that were very important for you, I guess. So the first question is, how are you planning to attract non-crypto users to your Locago official project? Is there any upcoming partnership that will bring non-crypto users and real use case?
I'll take a stab at the first
This
part
is
of
from
that.
Mac, yeah, 1132.
Yes, sorry, Brian, for jumping in there. I thought you were pausing and finished.
No worries.
So first of all, as we said a couple of times throughout this session here, that it's a mini app on Telegram. Telegram is an amazing platform. It has about more than I think right now around 2.2 to 2.4 billion downloads, but about 1 billion monthly users of Telegram. So it's a massive community, and it's growing quite quickly. And that the demographics of that global community are such that they're very they privacy is important to them. A lot of characteristics that overlap perfectly with Web3. Now, Telegram has gone on to develop Ton, has built in a wallet into their messaging app. And so we're people that are now being introduced. And I did one of the keynote speeches in Bali at CoinFest, Asia's largest Web3 conference. And there was a lot of talk, panel discussions, and so on about where are we going to get the next billion users from. And during my keynote speech, I really talked about many of them coming from Telegram, because they're already there. They already want to participate. And so now we're seeing a lot of non-crypto users being onboarded and introduced in a very soft, very friendly way to crypto. And it's not confusing for them. They're not, they don't have to be tech wizards. They don't have to be married to it, but they just start getting introduced. And that's having a tremendous effect. And then the reality is for the, I think that you see in some of the images that we had up on the slides, the user interface that we provide is very friendly to everyone. And we get next to no complaints or questions. People love it, and it's just very friendly, simple user interface, and that has driven adoption nicely, and we hope that continues. So the dev team on our side, there's about 50 developers that work inside the company. It's not outsourced. That are doing an amazing job, and so hats off to them. Jim, do you want to talk about, or Anita, talk about partnerships and KOLs and so on, as it relates to bringing non-crypto people into the project?
Yes, at the moment I'm working with the current KOL and influencers throughout certain countries. We are mainly focusing in these countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, India, Philippines, and maybe we are even also opening to like Nigeria and other countries as well. So to those of you here in the viewers, if you guys are a KOL or influencers, and if you think that you want to collaborate with us to enhance things, to get bigger, please feel free to reach out to either one of us or me through Telegram. So the reason why we are doing this is because, like what Terry and Jim said, we are basically new. We still need more user acquisition. We want more people to enjoy these games, because that's this potential of the biggest prize pool at the end of December, worth of 1 million. Now, the competition is a lot more in Vietnam, but within these 3 months, which is going to go fast, if every one of all the countries are starting to play, and each of you, maybe if I have 1 million and if Brian has 10 million, of course he's going to get more of the pie of the prize pool, right? So, but the good news here is that every single one of you, doesn't matter if you want to play for free or if you want to play, to do any purchase in the game to level up. More importantly, you guys would get some kind of benefits in the end where you guys can get this free prize pool. Not to mention that there's also like a weekly price of like in-game coins, LCG tokens, and you can get an iPhone 16. I wish I can get that soon. You can get an Ethereums and Bitcoin, and not only that, you guys can participate on tourism of places that you wish to go. Who knows? Maybe we can do some kind of a tourism visit where all of us can connect, and in events when we work with these KOL and influencers of certain countries, and if we were to do an event, let's just say in Thailand, let's say, maybe the Thai KOLs and influencers could join with us, and then people could meet them and, just make things better. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that. I think that answers the question of Mac. Well, congratulations, Mac, for for your question. I would like to jump in the next and the final question that we have here. Was a very extensive or long question, but play-to-earn game market is getting everyone's attention. Players care about how much money they can make. So what in the game Locago farm will attract a large number of players to participate?
You guys, okay, so we're all looking at each other for, a couple of the features. I'll start out and jump in, Jim and Anita, but a couple of the features that really, I think, differentiate Locago from many of the others, and it's not even so much that we have to directly compare them, but standout features that people love on our platform are the Zodiac Pet Masters and the early, but the voting tourism. And that gives people a chance to have multiple earning opportunities. There's a few other ways of earning that we haven't even got into yet. We talked about referrals for earning more coins, but you can actually, if Brian, back to you referring me, if you referred me and I bought a $55 professional pet license, then you can earn USDT in commissions in real time on that. And so you can imagine that there's opportunities that really start to give people a chance to truly earn. And then on top of that, the prizes. Jim mentioned the Ethereum and the more than $100 million US prize pool that is made up of the 8.6 billion LCG tokens. Those stand out as massive differences, and it's fun. People enjoy. I think we could remove some of the prizes, and people would still play because they actually enjoy. Anita talked about nurturing a pet and taking care of it and feeding it, and so that gamification of those experiences has been done really well, and so it's not just to jump in for an airdrop as from a giant prize pool. It's really it is a game, and it's fun and rewarding. Do you guys want to add some notes to that?
Not to mention that the prize pool can change. With more people participating in this game, the value of the prize pool could even increase to even 200 to 300 million, right? So the value is not consistent. It can go up and go down based on the number of users. So of course, we would appreciate for people to, if you guys receive the LCG token, we would like you guys to keep it. But of course, you guys can use it in the game, but for hodling on long term, for users in the future. But of course, if you sell more, then the price will drop a little bit. But if you accumulate more and hold the coins, then the prices could go up with time. So if the price pool is more, then it's a positive thing for everyone that you guys can get more.
Yeah, of course.
In the end. So.
Well, it sounds really, really good for me, and I think that sounds really good for all the community. We have now reached 4,000 of people here. That's amazing, guys. That's amazing. If you would like to say something before we close, or
I'll gladly say something, and then if Jim and Anita want to jump in, thank you, Brian. This has been great, and really hope, and I'm pleased to hear that the number of viewers has been climbing throughout the AMA, because that's a great testament. And it costs nothing to download it. It costs nothing to try it. Please, everyone, give it a try, because it is fun, and you can get some real rewards that can be quite valuable. And I can't encourage that enough. And it's then you can decide how far you want to take it yourself. But I'm telling you, I think most of you out there would enjoy it. So. Jim, Anita, do you want to add anything to that?
I think I'm good. I'm just saying, whoever starts playing a game, I'm a gamer too. So whenever we start a new game, of course, we have some kind of frustration. We try not, why is this like this? Why is it complicated? But when you get the game, it's actually addictive, even for me, myself, and maybe you guys should give it a try with your friends and family. Or if not, just play with yourself. It's free. So enjoy the game.
Yeah, so I also want to highlight is that like Terry has mentioned, that our merchant market is currently in Vietnam. So we are constantly expanding to different regions in Southeast Asia. So for the audience online, if you're like interested in our projects and you're like industry leaders, right now, I mean, shout out to the leaders out there. We wish to collaborate with you and see what we can do more about it, and really expand it to more regions and places. Yeah.
Of course, sounds good for me. I think for my partner sounds good too. Well,
and you don't have to actually. So when we talk about, and Jim just reminded me of it, when we talk about expanding throughout Southeast Asia, those are the markets where we're building communities that where we will first then engage with businesses. So we'll engage with the businesses, but to play the game, you could be virtually anywhere in the world. And so there's no restriction on that, and jump in, join. And then hopefully we'll get into your market, depending on where you're from, but we'll get into your market soon.
step by step.
Yeah, well, sounds really good. I think for all the people, sounds really good, though. And I would like to say thank you so much for being here, for sharing all your insights and your dubs. Well, the dubs from the community. Thank you so much once again, Terry, Anita, Jim. Was nice to meet you. Was a pleasure being here with you, sharing with you all of this. Well, I think that we reached the end of this presentation. If you want to say something or no, that's okay. But I think, okay. Well,
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you,
thanks.
Ryan.
Thank you
have
so
been
much.
very accommodating, and of course for the audience, maybe some of you might be here from the starting of the conversation. Thank you for listening to us. To those of you who just joined, if you have more questions, feel free to follow our Telegram channel or social media to learn more about us.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. I think that we can say bye.
Take care.